Welcome to the 2350 Effect. Meet the Presenters Week. The 2350 Effect starts.
So welcome everybody to the 2350 Effect Meet the Presenter Week. I am your co-host, co-collaborator of Virtual Wellness Experience. It is definitely the Virtual Wellness Experience Meet the Presenter Week. As you can see on top of the screen, I am Damian Kinsey, and I'm the co-collaborator, co-host of the Virtual Wellness Experience. And as always, I'm joined on day 3 with Dr. Tanya Farron, who is also the co-host, co-collaborator of the Virtual Wellness Experience. And Dr. Farron, you have so many layers and so many things that goes on in your life. Tell them a little bit about yourself, those people who are just tuning in.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya Farron. Excited to be here today to talk to you about the Virtual Wellness Experience, which is a project that I partner with Damian as well as the 2350 Network. We are partners on both of those great concepts, ideas, and love doing that together. I also am the owner of Creative Living Ideas, where I do professional development, things like the Virtual Wellness Experience, the Work-Life Balance Summit. Absolutely love that. And that's my 5 to 9. And by day, I am an educator, a virtual middle school principal. So love all of those roles in my life, and they all mesh together and have a good meaning. So yeah, we got an exciting show tonight as we are on night 3 of Meet the Presenters. I love when Damian said this the other night. I want to clarify, this is not the Virtual Wellness Experience. You're not at it. Like, if you're liking this, you're not even there yet. The Virtual Wellness Experience is coming March 21st and 22nd that you need to get a ticket to. So while you're enjoying meeting these presenters, they're just giving you the tip of the iceberg of what they're going to share with you at the event. So it is coming soon. Thank you, everyone who's joining us. Henry and Michelle and LA and Leslie. I see Muhammad is here through the middle of the night. Thank you for being here. Jackie, Leslie, Chris. Noni is here. Appreciate you so much. If you LinkedIn users, if you'll put your name there, that would be great. Yeah, so excited to have a great audience and a great conversation tonight.
So I'm definitely excited to have a great conversation tonight. And, you have so many people here supporting and being involved and, reaching out. Here we go with day 3. And, it's fitting. We have this individual who is in the audience, but is not in the audience because she's backstage. And now let's bring her to front stage. We are welcome with Jackie Hallberg, who is such an amazing presenter. She has been with us through the Virtual Wellness Summit, now the Virtual Wellness Experience, the Work-Life Balance Summit. We partnered on so many great live audio rooms and whatnot. And she does so many amazing things outside on reentry. She talks about stuff with emotional women, taking back the name of being emotional, and understanding that as human beings, we have emotions. If we don't have emotions, we're not being human. And she does so many things with reentry and travel. Like she had an amazing show last week on travel. Jackie Holbrook, welcome to Meet the Presenter Week of the 2350
Thank you
Effect.
for having me here. What an intro, Damien. It's almost like you know me or something.
Yeah, I try to know you. You know, those people don't know me and Jackie have a great relationship. We, I couldn't do lives without Jackie. She kind of, me and her started and spearheaded doing lives audio events. So I'm happy to have her here and be a part of this as well. And thank you all for showing up as well. All right. So without it wouldn't be a summit or experience without more people to experience and build relationships and be around. So this person is definitely instrumental in education. She is on the screen now. She does so many things with helping young people. She has a teen magazine. She does her own summit, her own experience. She travels around and has so many supports with her organization and foundation and her company. She helps people all the time. She is a 2350 member, just like Jackie Holbrook there over there. And we'd like to welcome Dr. Rowe, who actually was someone who attended the summit before, but now is a presenter of the virtual wellness experience. So Dr. Rowe, welcome. Sorry to catch you off guard.
Thank
We're
you.
family, so
It's a pleasure to be here.
it's a pleasure having you as well. And 4 people on stages is enough. We have a lot of space here. We share the wealth in the space.
Let's
And
pack the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, so much. We were talking backstage about current presenter was talking about she's doing so much work right now and she's doing stuff behind the scenes, in the scenes of what she's actually doing. I don't want to kind of spoil that part of it. She's doing in the scenes where she's at and out behind the scenes stuff. And we like to welcome our first, she's the first time presenter of the virtual wellness experience or the summit or anything or whatever you want to talk about. Please welcome Colleen Kilpatrick.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Happy to be here with all of you wonderful people.
We are so happy to have you as well.
We're excited. I'm excited to have all of you up here with us tonight. Every night is always joyful to have presenters, but I've had such a great time getting to know Jackie from introduction from Damien, and Dr. Rowe and I have been having some great connections and enjoying working together. And then Colleen, I'm excited to have you aboard and learn more about you. So just incredible people here tonight. So you all just be ready for a great show and some great conversation, and we're going to have a little bit of fun.
Yes. So much fun. It's fun if we don't start everything off with, yeah. So like I said, speaking of fun, we always start off with a laugh or call a text. Laugh, call, text is that segment of where in the last 7 days, what is that one thing that stood out to you that made you either laugh out loud, get on the phone and actually, call somebody on the phone and dial their number or click their number or text them. So,
does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first. I belong to a women's group. There's about 10 of us in there, and we have a different theme when we meet. We just started meeting, actually. And last week we were meeting our goal was each person to bring a book and to talk about that book briefly and to read a quote from it and tell the others what we gained from it. Well, I brought 2 books because I couldn't just pick one. And somebody else brought 7 books and somebody else brought multiple books. And somehow that was so funny to all of us that we had so many books to discuss in our short little period of time that we just busted a gut, had so much fun laughing with all these women. It was very healing, actually.
I love that idea.
Yeah, it was fun.
That is so cool. I bet that was funny.
It was very funny, especially when we saw this stack of 7 books from one of them.
It was the adult show and tell version. Like, I can't wait to show you all of it, right?
Right.
Yes, that's the educator in me, the show and tell.
Yes.
I like that. That's definitely an interesting book club. All right.
I'll go next if you guys don't mind. So it was actually, gosh, 20 minutes before I went on backstage with you guys. I had been texting one of my friends for a little bit tonight because he had connected me with a new staff person that I hired 3 weeks ago. And he's like, how's she doing? And I'm like, dude, so amazing. My life is already easier and everything. And then all of a sudden I'm like, the past 2 nights, they keep talking about phone calls are so important. So I'm like, hey, if you're not busy, will you call me? And he called me, like I said, just before I got on here. And now we're going out to dinner on Friday. So now I don't have to sit home alone on Friday. So it worked out just perfect.
That's awesome. That's a good text and a call, right? Nice. Very nice. Dr. Rowe, how about you?
Yeah, so I had a good text a couple of hours ago. I had a really nice conversation with a girlfriend, and she sent me a text back saying, thank you so much for the awesome conversation of focus, because it's not a joke, but there is reality to the joke. My ADHD takes people into places that they never thought that they had dreamed about, and it's just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So for today, she was like, thank you for keeping me grounded, and focus on what she was trying to accomplish. So getting texts like that always feels good.
I love that. That is nice.
From the chick with ADHD.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I know I can get it kicked in myself sometimes. I hear you. I'm going to use this as my laugh caller text, even though I'm using it because it's on my phone. But I just tuned in to Dr. Qureshi and Deanna Pelly's I Choose Us. If you haven't seen it, check it out. They are both members of the 2350 network. They have both presented with us. Dr. Qureshi is presenting with us now. But amazing conversation with them about relationships and just how important that, and you know what, it made me grin, it made me laugh, it made me, reflect, think, it just made me do all kinds of things. So absolutely loved tuning in to that tonight, so you can dig in. And I just reposted it not too long ago, so you can go to my page if you want to see it as well. Pretty amazing. Damien, I can't wait for you to share with everyone what your laugh caller text was, because yours this week have been kind of different than your normal ones.
Well, my laugh call text is this. It's a great one. If people can relate to this. You know how when you reach out to people, you check in and you try to catch up with them and check in on them, and they go, who's this?
Yes.
And then you tell them who's this, and then they be like, I didn't save your number. That is my laugh call text. So it's okay. You can't take it personally. You know what happens. So many people tell cell phones. And, sometimes what happens is if you have multiple emails and you go into one email, for some reason your address book changes. You ever happen to you?
Yes.
Yes. So that is my laugh call text, and it's something that people possibly can relate to. Those people out there, drop in the comments your laugh, your call, your text. We would love to hear your laugh, call, text. Engage with us as much as possible and connect with everybody on this stage.
Yeah.
Dr. Farron, you want to take the first question?
Yeah, I was just looking at a few people that have said this is their first time here. So Petra, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that, and glad you're going to join us tonight, and hopefully we can bring you some joy tonight. I want to talk about this a little bit. Little different question than some of the other nights. I'm going back to it. I can't help it. I like it. I like food. I like to ask about it. What is your go-to meal? What is your go-to meal? Like your favorite thing, whether you want to call it your comfort food, your guilty pleasure, I don't know, your favorite, whatever. What is your go-to meal? Favorite?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Avocado and grits.
Interesting
Right.
Combination. Salt though, right on it.
The lemon pepper, no sugar, no salt, but the lemon pepper on the avocado.
Okay. I've not been on that. I bet that's good. That's your favorite, huh? I hope you don't mind me sharing the story. One time I called Dr. Rowe, or I attended her meeting late because I don't know, I had another meeting, and you had an acai bowl, and you were like, I'm just about to head to bed with this bowl. And I was like, oh, don't let me stop you with that guilty pleasure moment. Sounds good too. So every time I see one of those, it makes me think of you. I love it. I love it. Who else has a guilty yum?
I'm a soup maker. So I make soup every week, bone broth, all the good stuff. So I just love soup. That is my feel good food for sure.
Nice. Very nice. Any particular kind that you like?
Oh, well, I love making chicken bone broth soup, chicken vegetable, but also I've been making a kale, cauliflower, garlic, dill pureed soup that is so delicious and bright green. It's lovely.
Kale. Oh, okay. Okay. Because of the kale. Oh, okay.
It's
I
so
can do
good.
that.
Everybody loves it. I put Asiago cheese on the top or goat
Ooh.
cheese. It's delicious.
That sounds good. I love all these in the audience. Good
I know.
choices. Jackie, what do you got for us?
Ooh, I was just like, I need to pick one of their selections because for anybody that knows me knows I am the opposite of Colleen. I don't cook. I try really hard not to cook. So my guilty pleasure is when somebody wants to do a homemade meal and invite me over. That's like my favorite. So, but I'm also like Damien. I love me some homemade macaroni and cheese. I do unfortunately probably eat way too much chicken salad wraps because that's like something I don't have to really cook, and it gets me through.
Yeah. I get you on that one. I like easy go-to meals too, Jackie. Like I get that. I'm not, slaving over the stove every night of the week, but yeah, I like a good chicken wrap as well. And mac and cheese. Yeah. Mhm. Damien, you sticking true?
I'll switch it up and go with like breakfast meal.
Okay, or what about a
I'll go
favorite?
with a breakfast meal.
Okay.
I really don't like a lot of stuff for breakfast. I do not. So I like smoothies in the morning, and if I have to have something that's solid and hard, solid food, I think I will go with waffles.
Oh,
I'm not really a fan of French toast. I would go with waffles because I would prefer pancakes, but I go with waffles because it's a safer.
I'm feeling a little silly, but
Yeah.
when you make waffles, do you usually repeat the phrase from Shrek? Because I feel like everybody does.
No, I don't make waffles from scratch. I go in and I get the fluffy ones from
I
the
didn't say
store,
from scratch.
and those are delicious.
Do you repeat the movie line from Shrek?
No,
Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
no.
When Donkey says, and in the morning, I'm making waffles. Oh gosh, you guys, come on.
I don't know where I was.
I missed that one.
See, my ADD took over. I'm back. Okay.
I did have a great risotto the other day.
Ooh, that's
It
good.
was the best I've ever ate.
I like a good risotto. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
welcome, Jay.
So I've talked about some hearty meals. So we'll go with something, different. I'm not a big breakfast eater either, Damien, but on the weekends, I like to have breakfast, but I love English muffins and orange marmalade. English muffins and orange marmalade. Those are like, it has to be like really crisp, definite, Yeah. I always love having food conversations always bring people together. Okay.
Mhm.
Petra, you're talking about onion layers. Is that going along with my Shrek comment? I'm thinking it might be. I'm not sure. My chief is a slaw dog. What's a slaw dog? Who knows I love Donkey and Shrek
I
too.
don't know what that is. So,
Anybody know what a slaw dog is?
yeah. Oh, is it coleslaw with
On a hot dog?
hot dog? Okay,
Sounds about
it kind of makes sense. I had to think about it. My brain had to trigger it,
Okay.
Think about that.
Adrian's got like this palette, like seafood, eggplant, parmesan, cheesecake. I'm going to her house.
I see that.
Right.
Mhm.
Love that.
So I have a question. It's so many places. Like you want to go places, you want to be places, like you said, and food. If you were able to sit down with anybody, past or present, who would it be to have that meal? Who would you pick?
I would pick my ancestors, just a gathering of ancestors who I never got to meet. I think about that. They walked this earth, they had challenges, trials, and tribulations, and I know nothing about many of them, right? So, like, I don't know my great grandmother, and I would like to start there and gather a bunch of women folk and men folk together and just find out about their lives.
That's a cool idea. I like that.
You know, Colleen, I'm going to have to say the same thing. I don't know. It's because your last name is Kilpatrick and my maiden name is Patrick. And maybe we're just Patricking to this evening. But yes, my ancestors, where am I getting all this strength from? You know, I know it's God and I know that it's them, but I just wish I could, you know, just see a few of them and, you know, hear them. And so that would be pretty dope if I could break bread with them.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing.
The white E. Heisenberg.
Yeah. For me, it'd be my dad. If there were extra family there, that'd be great too. But I would really want a one-on-one with him. We had such an intense relationship in all the good and not so great ways. And he's been gone now a little over 10 years. And man, I've grown so much in different ways since he's been gone. And I would like to be able to pick his brain and apologize for a few things and question a few things and have him help me celebrate a few things. And that's exactly what I would like.
That's cool. Very cool. Yeah. I would pick my grandmother just because I enjoyed her. And she was always, you know, on my mom's side, my grandparents died when I was pretty young. But my grandmother on my mom's side, I was in my mid-30s when she passed. And she was just such a great friend. You know, I never remember her ever like complaining about life. She called me every night to check on my children. She wanted to say goodnight to my kids every night. She was just a great person. She wanted to go to lunch and hear what was going on and just be a part of my life. And, you know, it's that moment where, you know, did she leave me a big, you know, sum of money? Did she leave me jewels? Did she? No. But boy, did she make me feel loved. And I could just be with her again, would just make my heart happy, you know. How about you, Damien?
I'm definitely picking my grandmother's mom and my other grandmother's mother. Because I've never met them. I've heard so many stories about them. I would love to have known them. And I've also wanted to ask them how my grandmothers were as kids and get all the stories about them. You know, I have some real loving and strict grandmothers, and I have one who's still around, and she's loving and strict. But I would love to know, you know, about them as kids, especially when they got in trouble.
Absolutely. So on to kind of our topic at hand a little bit. You know, none of you had to present at the virtual wellness experience, you know. It was offered or asked, and, you know, we all agreed together. So what was your reason for wanting to be a part of the virtual wellness experience? And yeah, we'd love to hear that. Share that with everyone.
Well, I'll jump in because mine's super easy if you don't mind. I just love Damien and Dr. Tanya. I mean, anything they're doing, I'm part of because I know it's going to be great. I know we're going to laugh. I know we're going to learn and be exciting to see who they're going to bring in. They always have such diverse speakers and diverse topics that everybody can learn stuff. So I was so excited, but I'm really focused on my topic right now, trying to spread the information to so many other people. And so when you think of wellness, you might not first think of the topic that I'm doing until it starts to break down and you realize how connected it really is. So I'm excited because of who I'm hanging with, and I'm excited to learn, and I'm excited to share the information as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're happy to have you back. Like, I feel blessed, you know, that you have joined us, you know, these 3 different sessions so far. And, you know, you bring something different to the table every single time that you present, and, you know, just love this evolving friendship and, you know, partnerships. And it's just great. Absolutely great. Really is.
Yeah, Dr. Tanya, you and Damien have an incredible just sense of energy that just spews out all of this beautifulness. And so people attract people, right? And I want to be where the positive energy is. And I've been on both sides of wellness, right? The bad side of wellness and the good side of wellness. And so, you know, people in leadership positions experience the same thing. But they're coming to work and they're making decisions, and they're sitting on boards and they're making decisions. And so we just have to kind of think about, while we're existing, and think about our legacy as we lead, and whatever it is that's going to prevent us from doing that, that needs to be addressed. And that's the core of what we're talking about, wellness.
Yeah, I am so glad that you joined us. Of course, you have a very successful company and business that you run. You're a very busy lady. You're an educator as well, and a leader. And it has been really great getting to know you. And you do amazing work with the teens in our world, which I think is so powerful. And I can't wait for people to learn a little bit more about that. But the thing that I love the most about the wellness experience is the fact that no matter where you are in your career life, whether you're, just starting out in life or you're, CEO, you're going to gain something from the presenters here because there's something for everyone, even with all of the conversations. So just amazing. Colleen, we're so excited that you joined us. What made you decide to take the leap?
Well, my friend Tina Sasso was in the event last year, and she just spoke so highly of all of you. So I thought I had to come participate. But also, I believe that what you focus on expands. And if you want to be agitated and anxious and fearful, watch the evening news every night. But if you want to believe in possibilities and be hopeful and be positive and optimistic, hang around other people who can help share their good wisdom with you. And so this is part of that, is to be part of a summit where people gather together and we can share things that will uplift people. And I love that. And the opportunity to meet more people and to touch more lives.
Right.
Absolutely. I do love that as well, Colleen, and I appreciate that. And Tina she spoke very highly of you. She was so excited to share that. And I love that. We love Tina. We're sad she can't be with us this time, but hopefully next time she'll join us. But she is just a bright light. And, for her to recommend someone, we knew that you had to as well be a bright light for us. And that is our goal, to really shine, some good things out into the world for people and to help give them resources to help them find the other side of wellness, as Dr. Rowe had said. So I love that. Absolutely. Yeah. Damien's so busy over there on the other end. I agree, Michelle. Who doesn't need good wellness and some knowledge? Absolutely.
I love summits too.
I do too. You're just going to come away with so much. Again, as I shared at the very beginning, for those of you that are here, this is not the experience. This is the tip of the iceberg. This is not the experience. This is just Meet the Presenter Week. You're just meeting these amazing people. They haven't even gone into their topic. So you want to make sure that you join us. Would you like for me you want to go ahead and have me share my screen, Damien, and we can talk to them a little bit about the event?
Yeah, I like everything everybody said, and definitely, this is not the virtual wellness experience. This is the virtual wellness experience.
Yes, this is the virtual wellness experience. So let me show you something here real quick. When you go to purchase your ticket, there's a QR code or a link that Damien will drop in. When you go to share when you see this, you'll see, and yours won't say join lobby. It'll probably be purchase the ticket here. And then at the very bottom, you can scroll through and see all of the sessions and who's presenting. So this is Friday, March 21st and Saturday, March 22nd. So these are our presenters all on the 21st, which is a Friday. And then we have our presenters on Saturday starting at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Whenever you link to this event switches over into your own time zone. So you'll see that in your time zone whenever you go to the link. And so that's what that looks like at that point. Once you are in, you can click that lobby button and it looks like this. It's a pretty cool event. So you're able to go in and see the different sessions and you can bookmark them. Yours doesn't say start, mine does because I own this event. And so you can go in and bookmark them, which ones you want to see, just for your own itinerary, but you can always watch the recordings. We have the recordings available for you for 1 month. So you're able to go back in. So for that $175, you get the opportunity to go back in. So I encourage you to click that link, go take a look at these sessions, look at who all is presenting, and take a peek at that. You can also, once you bookmark, you can create your own itinerary. This is my itinerary as I'm speaking. And then you can also connect with all of the speakers, like Valencia. You know, she's got a couple of profiles for you to check out, a LinkedIn one and a YouTube profile. Of course, she's got her biography, and then she's got a quick little video for you. And then you can see which one. That's one of the examples of one of our speakers. And then, of course, you know, here's Jackie's. She's got a great little bio in her session that she is presenting. And Dr. Rowe in here. And let's see, we've got Colleen in here too. Colleen. There we go. So, you know, you can connect with all of them in here. And then again, you can go into the lobby, you can chat. We'll be chatting. Hello, welcome, things like that. So, and again, this is a virtual experience. So you can stay home. You're at home. You're in your pajamas. You got to run out to the store. Don't worry, you come back. They're all recorded. You can click that button and watch it again. So we totally want to make sure that you join us. These are amazing events that you are going to absolutely love. And then I just want to show you, if you have not yet followed Creative Living Ideas YouTube page, I would encourage you to do so. Tonight's event right now is streaming live right now. You can see this right here. I think that's the one right now. Oh, it's probably not showing up yet. But this was yesterday's, that was streamed yesterday, and anything else that we have, like our Wellness Wednesdays, they're also all on here, so you'll be able to catch those. So it's this little kind of this icon right here, Creative Living Ideas. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free. And then you don't miss out on any of the events that we have. All right.
All right. Yeah, so the summit is next week, next Friday, you know. So many great presenters, so many different topics. Some of the topics are on there, not on there. I know my topic is not on there, but my topic is how to remain calm when everybody around you isn't. We have so many people who panic and they think that, you know what, everything's an emergency. Everything's alarming and it's so much going on and they get like flustered and overwhelmed. And we was talking behind the scenes and having a conversation about this. And that is the topic that I've decided to go with because I think it's important because I was having a conversation with somebody before the summit and they were like, how do you stay even keel and remain calm? And for me at this point, it's second nature or muscle memory, but everyone doesn't have that ability to do so. So I kind of want to have a conversation around that and share that. So that's my topic that I'm going to be talking about without giving away everything that you're doing on your conversation. What is your topic and what are you talking about at the virtual wellness experience? And the reason why it's a virtual wellness experience, because there's so many experiences that goes on through this 2-day conference /summit /workshop that we want people to connect with each other, build relationships, and meet with and connect with the presenters beyond that. That's the reason why we have Meet the Presenter Week. So with that said, what is your topic that you're working on without giving everything away? Colleen, what's yours?
My topic is called Eliminate What You Tolerate. And what that is, so all of us human beings put up with things that we would rather not have in our life, like broken items or relationships that aren't working or poor communication or even our own bad habits or unfinished business, right? We put up with these things. So it's taking a look at those things that if you had your druthers, if you had a magic wand, you would take it and you would get rid of those things. But for whatever reason, you don't. So in this class, I provide the magic wand. I teach you how to look in your life for those things that you're putting up with that you would rather have a different way. And then I give you a very systematic tool or process for eliminating those things. And what I so love about this process, I've been using it for about 30 years with my clients and family and friends. It's super simple, super easy to understand, no mumbo jumbo, very streamlined, very effective, and very fast. The results can be very, very fast. So that's what it is.
I love that. People getting quick results, and a lot of people want the quick result, you know?
Yeah.
So I like that. Thank you for sharing it.
Go.
Dr. Rowe.
Yeah, so my topic is leading with your legacy in mind. Leading with your legacy in mind. So most of us work for organizations and companies, and we have policies that we either need to create or enforce. And then we have our humanistic side to articulating those policies and procedures, or we don't have a humanistic side. And so I just want to, share some insight and get our engagers to start thinking about who they really are, and if there are any external forces out there that prevent them from maintaining who they are, even in times like this, and administrations as such.
I like that. And you get a chance to rewatch it again with Dr. Rowe talking, because it does stay up for 2 weeks. So I love that you talk about that. Think about your legacy in mind, because some people don't think about big picture and what they want to leave as a legacy in long term. And probably during your session, if you ask people what is their legacy, sometimes people don't even know because they're not even thinking like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that.
And to live it out now.
Well, yeah. And to really, sometimes that can be a course direction changer for people, right? When they start thinking about my legacy. So I love that you're bringing that to the forefront of people's minds.
And if there's that level of course direction, imagine how that impacts one's mental health and wellness and spirituality, all that just runs together. So I'm excited about it, because I've lived both sides.
She's been on both sides.
Been on both sides of that fence.
I love it. Jackie, how about you?
Well, I just got to shout out Petra's topic in the chat, because she said if she could pick, it would be let's turn pity into power. Guys,
love that.
Sounds like we may have a new presenter next time. So we're going to need to check that out, because I'm like, ooh, do I know some people, maybe even me occasionally, that could use that topic. But my topic is near and dear to my heart. It's called cultivating quality alone time. I have worked in the social work field for quite some time. And one of the things in our aging population is, yes, there's a lot of illness, physical illness, a lot of things that change in our bodies. But one of the number one leading deaths for older people is loneliness, and we don't talk about that. So why can't we start creating positive time by ourselves, being comfortable being alone at a younger age, at any age, in trying to understand that your world isn't dependent on who else is in it. So we're going to have fun talking about a whole bunch of stuff, both my personal experiences, some things I've seen from other people, and really getting an opportunity to say, you deserve to be as happy as you want, no matter who's around you or what you're doing.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. It is so true, and I just am I could get into this conversation right now. I even think about empty nesters, people that are my age, struggling with the fact that their kids are moving on, and what do we do together? Or even if you were a single parent, like, it doesn't even have to be in our elderly years, it can be now, or my 5-year-old doesn't need me as much as now that they're 10, or whatever, So, oh my gosh, that's going to be a great conversation. Such a great conversation. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be talking about, I'm the very last session on Saturday. And so we'll be talking about what are we going to do with all of this stuff that we've got now, right? Now we've got all of this stuff that we have learned. How are we going to make it work in our life? And so we're going to talk about that and really unpack it and look at it and figure out how we can really get into it and what is most important to us to tackle right away. So that's one thing. And then Damien and I are also presenting for the very first time at one of the events together. And we're working on our topic a little bit this weekend, but we've agreed upon talking about networking, which those of you that know us, we have the 2350 network. So we love networking. Like, that is a big thing. And so we thought that would be really powerful for this. We also provide that opportunity in the middle of the day for networking for our guests. as well as our presenters. So it is a full experience for people, and we absolutely are excited about it.
I like that. We have so many great other topics that people are throwing out in the chat. So I love that.
We'll come back to this, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
And we have the virtual wellness. We have the virtual wellness experience next week, the Work-Life Balance Summit in October. So I love this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
You want to take the next one, Dr. Fran?
I loved this conversation last night and I want to bring it back. Can you though, Damien, can you drop that YouTube link into the chat for me?
It's in there.
Oh, did you put it in there? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I put it up on the screen too.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Right there.
Perfect. Thank you. Someone had asked for it. So Muhammad had asked for it. So I want to make sure
No worries.
that's in there.
It's scrolling so fast in the comments that it's getting very quickly.
Yeah,
So,
it's
which
in
is
there,
a good
Muhammad.
thing.
Dig in there. Okay. So the question we talked about last night that really was just really inspiring, I think, for a lot of people was, what was the turning point in your career? So what was the biggest turning point in your career? And for some of us, there's a lot of them. So pick one.
I think for me, when I was put in a position to have more of a panoramic view of how public education operates from a systemic standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a teacher and the type of teacher I was, it was just me and my kids. That's all I even cared about. My brain didn't even extend outside of the classroom into that whole administrative world and in the political world. So it wasn't until I actually got out of the classroom and had more of a panoramic view of how the system operated, and then now how other systems operate. That was a huge turning point, and an aha moment for many different ahas and moments.
Right. Sure. Yeah. No, I fully understand. I've transitioned as well from teacher to administrator, and I understand. And I love that you said the panoramic view,
Mm-hmm.
being able to really see the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Very
It
interesting.
took quite some time to sift through, because now you're maturing emotionally, you're maturing socially, and you're trying to put the pieces together from a historical standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
To just the whole nine, right? So it took many, many years for that transitional period to take place, which was quite a journey.
Yeah, I bet. I can understand. I love that. How about you, Colleen?
Yeah. So like you said, I've had several turning points that are very significant, but one of the first ones was I decided to become a coach. And I was going through Coach U back when Thomas Leonard was alive. And there was a lot of talk about speaking as a way to market yourself. So I joined a Toastmasters group and I gave my first speech. I had never spoken before, gave my first speech, the icebreaker. And I shouldn't have chosen this topic, but everything's perfect. It was a very emotional topic. And I nearly cried through the entire presentation. But the feedback I got at the end of it was so exhilarating that I decided on the drive home, I would call my printer where my new business cards were and have him add the word speaker to my business card, even though that was my first speech in the whole world. And I thought nobody will ever notice,
Right.
And I'll choose when I become a speaker. And so I had him print it. I went and picked up those business cards. I went to my first meeting. I was setting up a place where I could have a women's group. And I gave that card to the first person, and she looked down and she said, "Oh, you're a speaker. Can you come and speak at our group? And all the movers and shakers in town are in this group." And I'm like, oh no. And I felt so disingenuous, but really for me, it was such a great opportunity because I had to rise to the occasion. I had to know my topic and really study it and practice. And that first speech is what really launched a lot of things in my career. So it worked out well, and I'm glad I chose that. But It's not a way I would suggest everybody take, but for me, it was good. It worked.
I love that story. Like, I love that. That is just, putting it out there and saying, I'm doing this. And I've put the pen to the paper, right? So I've sealed it and said, I'm doing this. And then doors open. That is amazing.
Well, Dr. Tanya, that saying, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of my mantras. It's like, yeah, you're going to be afraid. You're going to feel anxious, or maybe even, just excited, the other side of anxiety or fear. Choose to focus on the excitement and just do the thing. Just do it. Don't wait till you're ready, because you'll never be ready to be a speaker. You just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
I love that. I do. Sometimes you just have to take that leap, right?
Right.
And people saw things in you. And I'm going to come back to that because this is going to be my example as well. People saw things in you that you weren't really sure if you had, right? Like, it was your first time doing it. And that's amazing. Jackie, how about you?
It kind of makes me feel like with Colleen, it's almost like she manifested it
Yes.
without realizing she was manifesting it. And boom, it's there. I love that. I love it. So some of you guys, if we've been connected on LinkedIn, I don't usually share much about being an actual social worker. I do have my credentials on the screen tonight just because we're talking about the presentation. I want you to know I just didn't pick up myself off the street and decide to talk about important stuff, especially when we're talking about mental wellness. But I went to school to be a social worker to work with little kids. I thought I wanted to just make kids happy. I didn't think about all those diagnoses. I just wanted to make them happy so kids weren't so sad. And my boss, who was actually my internship supervisor, who became my boss, said, yeah, we got to switch you up. Instead of doing your internship with little kids at the school like you asked to do, I need to make you work with kids that got in trouble with the courts. So, I'm going to hire you to work with the kids in the school like you wanted to, but you got to do your internship here. And I'm like, I don't work with criminals, even if they're kid criminals. That's not what I want to work with. Sad kids. I want to make them happy. So I got tossed into this program, and that's where I started doing restorative justice when I didn't even know what it meant. Never thought I would want to work with anybody that broke the law. So that was my first kind of inkling that something different than what I expected my life to look like happened. But I did the youth probably for 7 or 8 years before we started to work with intense adult criminal situations. And then my boss came to me, a totally different boss at this time, and said, guess what? We need you to start going into the prison and working with guys before they get out of prison to talk about family dynamics and what it's going to be like to parent when they get out of prison. And I'm like, yeah, I don't go into prisons either, and no, I went into prison, and I'm just like, this is why I didn't need to just work with kids, because kids go back home to parents that are broken and stressed and had all learned so many different things, both good and bad, that you can't just work with a kid without working with the whole family to really get that quality opportunity. So the day I walked into prison for the first time and got locked into a room with about 25 male prisoners, and I could not open the door to get out, was pretty much a life-changing experience when the guys told me, you're the first woman I've ever talked to like this. You're the first woman that's ever seen me cry. That was pivotal. And now most of you guys know what I do for work, and I'm still doing it 15 years later. So It's important stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. It really is. I have to say, and it kind of along with what Colleen was going to say, and then kind of where I'm transitioning to as well, I feel like they had to have seen something in you, Jackie. Even though they needed to fill the spot, they had to have seen something in you that made them feel that you were a great candidate for this. I don't think they're just going to throw anybody willy-nilly in there, So I think sometimes people see things in us that we don't always see. And then we have to be able to, all of a sudden, when people bring it to our attention, sort of recognize that. Damien, how about you? And then I'll go last.
So I know I talked about other turning points in my life, so I'll talk about 2 tonight. I think as far as me even doing this, I think the turning point is when Jackie did her Zoom, and she was like, hey, I'm just going to have it on Christmas and see if people are going to show up. And I was like, I'll show up. and she didn't think I was going to show up, but I showed up. And we have built this great friendship and relationship off on Christmas. She had a Zoom link just set up for people who, just in case you didn't have family around, because her kids was coming later to home, and I logged in. It was early, and I actually logged in, even though I was with my family, and I wanted to come support her because she always supported me through the comments and just chatting back and forth. And we built this great friendship, and we would do live audio rooms and all these things. And then it got to the point where I was able to, I was connected with Dr. Farron, and then, Dr. Farron said, I have this idea to do this summit. And I was like, all right, I think it's a great idea. What do you need from me? And I was like, I'll help, and then me and Jackie were doing our lives. So I always wanted to protect Wishful Wednesday. I always wanted to protect finding your purpose. So when I got done with it, and I was like, okay, you doing this by yourself, Dr. Farron? You need help? And Dr. Farron was like, yeah, sure. So we started doing the lives and the audio rooms, and people thought it was my summit. It was not my summit. It was Dr. Farron's summit. I was just supposed to be a participant, and I just saw a friend in need and support, and I wanted to support her. And here we are now with the Virtual Wellness Experience. I partner up with the Work-Life Balance Summit, where she originated started, and I just was a presenter. And now we have the 2350 Network. And so many things come out. I say these two examples of turning points is being open, because like I told y'all last night, I didn't have any social media until LinkedIn. So just being open to people and saying, taking that leap of faith, that was my two turning points.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're both, Jackie, glad that he took those leaps, right? Like, we gained a great friend and partner in that. And so we appreciate you taking that leap, as well as everybody else on the screen today. And I would say for me, a turning point for me was when my administrator, when I was a teacher, recognized some things in me. And I'll never forget 2 moments with her. She was a powerhouse. She was a female principal in a time where there were only male principals in elementary school. And she had to fight her way, to the top. And she said to me, there was a job posting hanging up, and she said, I think you need to go for this job. And I was like, what, me? Like, I'm a 5th grade teacher. What are you talking about? And she was like, no, it was a coordinator position for the district. And she said, you need to go for this job. Okay, went for that job, got that job. At the time, we were still in school, like in a building. I was a teacher and a curriculum coordinator. Nowadays, they are one or the other. So I did both jobs. And then when I got my degree in my administration degree in education, then she really pushed me to go and interview. She had retired by then, but was still in such connection with the district, kept pushing me and kept saying, I see another job posting. You need to go for it. You need to go for it. This is you. And, when people see things in you, and those were turning points for me, right? I don't know that I would have really taken that step out on that limb. It's like Colleen writing the speaker part on her card. I don't know that I would have just done that myself. I kind of needed that push. And then she pushed me. And then she had a conversation with my husband and said, let me tell you what's going to happen, but I want you to know that, you got to bring her back to ground. Like they're going to, pull her in, and you're going to help bring her back. And it was just amazing, just the support, to be able to have and to hear that from somebody else. So those were turning points. And I'm grateful for those experiences, because they have shaped who I am today. They have shaped my experiences, my leadership ability, so many of those things. And so I try to do the same for people that I meet as well, because I try to find that light in them and encourage them to take the next step, to try something new. And so I'm excited to talk to you guys and get to know more people. There's a lot of people I haven't connected with in the audience. So please, let's connect with everybody that's on here. If you're in the audience and you don't know one of us, connect with any of us. We are happy to do that and have you be a part of our life. And I hope you come to this summit or the experience.
And look on the bottom of the screen, creativelivingideals.com is where you can get your tickets to the Virtual Wellness Experience. Come join us. These people are so amazing and outstanding at what they do. And you're not going to miss You're not going to want to miss out on getting that knowledge, that experience, and even the connections with the people here. Also, connect with everybody on stage. If you have a connect with them, go to their LinkedIn pages. Click on Dr. Rowe's page, send her a connection or follow. Same thing with Jackie. Connect with Jackie's. Same thing with Colleen. And if you haven't connected with Dr. Farron, connect with her as well. With that said, we are coming close to the end, but we're not done. We have 2 more things to do before we're done. So this week I like to kind of semi-close with one color or one word that best describes you. Pick one color or one word, either or.
I'll take green. Green,
Nice.
because I love health and vitality and being connected to the earth and nature.
I like that.
I'm gonna have to say blue for me, because it's just so cool and it reminds me of the ocean. And anytime I'm near ocean, I just have a sense of freedom.
Nice.
Love the ocean.
Me
I love it
too.
so much. So since I'm not a teacher, Dr. Tanya and Dr. Rowe, is iridescent a color? Because that's the only word that jumps to mind. It's like, I can't pick a solid color to save my life. Give me a glitter ball, get me a whole shiny little things that are sparkling all over, because I'm either black and sleeping and not talking to anybody, or I am all over the place, 5 million miles an hour. So I'm going to go with like iridescent sparkly.
Hey, it's your color. You can go with any color you want.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. I think so too. Somebody said iridescent last night too.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I was on your show the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
Somebody
it
said
like
that.
into my brain.
I know. I don't know.
Jackie, I have a word for you too. Effervescent, iridescent, and effervescent.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like that.
lovely.
I like that. My color is usually red. I do love red. I do love red. Definitely. It is, to me, it's bright, it's cheery, lots of energy with red.
Yeah.
I like energy. I like the days when I have just amazing energy, I love those days. Damien, your color or word?
Well, I have one word. It's Tail came up last night as well.
It
I don't
did.
have one word, but I have like 2 words. Show up. You never know what happens when you show up.
Yeah.
For the people around you. Because had I not shown up that day with Jackie, had I not shown up with you, had you not shown up and extended to me, had Dr. Rowe not shown up and Colleen not shown up, we wouldn't be doing these things. And people showing up is so important and key.
I love that.
Sometimes it's really hard for people to just get out of the bed and show up.
Yeah.
It's an everyday struggle. So start with showing up and then go from there.
I think that's, again, one of the things that Damien, I can't thank you enough, because I think a lot of us, when we get on a platform that's like a social media business platform like LinkedIn, we think we've got to stay in our lane. We've got to connect with the same people that are doing the same businesses, that have the same education, that live close to us. And it's like, Damien will be like, oh, you want to know about this? I got this person in this other state in this other time zone. And hey, they used to do this work, but now they do this work. And it's like, it just makes the world so much closer together. And I can't thank you enough for bringing so many extra people into my life through your networking and showing up. Thank you.
Like when Damien puts us together in groups and says, hey, meet this person. Okay, I'm leaving.
Yep. I'm going to get out, but you guys talk. It's like,
He's great for that. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But this doesn't end, because it can't end without us. So we always close with a quote, and I got it right this time, tonight.
You did.
So Dr. Farron, you want to close with a quote? This is definitely your segment.
Yeah, we absolutely love, closing with a quote. So those of you that are in the audience, please feel free to drop in your favorite quote or a quote that might speak to you tonight, because we feel like that's important for you to be able to, find some other inspiration, some other things to focus on. Is anybody ready? for their quote.
I am. I'm happy to go.
All right,
It's
go.
short and sweet, and it has to do about the power of change. The quote is, "One day or day one, you decide."
I like that. One day or day one. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. You'll have to type that in the chat when we're done.
I'll be happy to go next.
Okay.
So this is Women's History Month, if you don't realize that. And I have been doing a lot of research on a variety of women that are currently doing things and have done in the past. And also yesterday, March 10th, was actually considered International Day of Female Judges, which some of my judge friends didn't even realize was a thing. And of course, one of my all-time favorite judges is actually Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the notorious BRG. Her quote, "Women belong in all places where decisions are being made." And I know Damien won't take offense to that because he has been one of the biggest women hypes on LinkedIn to make sure we are getting our voices out there. And I want to remember and never forget how important our voices are. And so that's my quote for now. So thank you guys so much.
I love that.
So if it doesn't challenge you, it just won't change you. Just to follow up with her. Yep. And of course, things happen for you and not to you. If we can get that in our mindsets, when things happen in our lives, life be lifing, right? It's for us to grow as a person and not something that's going to bring us lack or hard times. If we can just change our thought process.
Say that again, Dr. Rowe.
Just change our thought process. The whole thing again, Dr. Tanya?
No. The quote. Tell us the quote again.
Oh, things don't happen to us. They happen for us.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you.
It happens for us.
So I went with a different quote tonight. I went with a quote that is a favorite of mine for many years. It comes from a favorite movie of mine. You know, a lot of times in life, we're always trying to get to the next and get to the next, or we're in a bad kind of a yucky moment. And so how do we get to the next? But I love this quote. And when I kind of get in those mindsets or those moments, I try to bring this forward in my mind. So beginnings are scary. Endings are usually sad, but it's the middle that counts the most. And so that's from the movie Hope Floats. So when we think about that, right? Anytime we try something new, it's the beginning. It's scary. You think of your first job that you ever had, right? And then, you know, the end might be sad. You're retiring, you're moving on to another position. It might be bittersweet or a time in your life. But that middle part, right, is where all that sweetness is. And so it's that middle part that counts the most. So, yeah. Kind of sappy, but what can I say?
You know, it's nice.
How about you, Daniel?
Yeah, drop your quotes in the comments so we can get them. And you know what quote I'm gonna go with at the end of this, but I have another quote that I came up with. You know, great relationships and friendships start with hello and showing up.
I like that.
And we have some more other great quotes in here that people are sharing. And I thank you all for sharing those amazing quotes that are going on. You know, there's so many amazing quotes here. And it's great to see this level of participation. Dr. Rowe, you're amazing. Dr. Tanya, yes, loving it. It's just so great to see people showing up and supporting you and everybody on this particular Meet the Presenter Week. And this is not the virtual wellness experience at all. The virtual wellness experience is the 21st, the 22nd, and the tickets are available. And you can go to creativelivingideas.com to get all the information on the virtual wellness experience. And the link is also in the chat as well. So I'll drop the link in there again so people can get it. And then I'll close with the final quote that we have here. So as always, my final quote really is this. It is the 2350 network, the whole premise of it. And if you don't know what the 2350 network is, you see the thing above Colleen. Those numbers are arbitrary numbers that we made up out of thin air. There are 24 hours in a day. Do not let 5 or 10 minutes of a bad moment disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. Live life on your fullest and your most optimal. 2350 Network. It's time to connect. And it's also experience. And please connect with everybody. Amazing that they have so much to offer beyond, this live and even the summit. So, and we're back again tomorrow, Dr. Farron.
We are. We're back again tomorrow night and Thursday night for 2 more nights of Meet the Presenters at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you put that in your calendar. I'll repost that event as soon as we get done with this one. So if you're following me, you can go ahead and click that and attend. We would love to see you there. We've got new presenters. These ladies will be moving on and we'll be moving in some new ones, but you can come back and connect with them on the 21st.
So with that said, join us tomorrow for 4 more presenters for Virtual Wellness Experience. But don't leave. Don't disappear. Here's the real for the Virtual Wellness Experience.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.